Marvellous, right. Oh. Now to my soggy mat. So we're going a little bit old school. We're coming into our frogs. So all fours, knees wide, feet wider and turned out onto my mat. And then rocking backwards and forwards from there. So if you can remember week one, we did a lot of this in week one. Does it feel any different? To be fair, mine feels a little bit different, I must admit. I seem to be getting further back. Might just be this morning, it might just be 4 weeks of doing sort of hip work, but we'll see. So rock your forwards and back. Nice and steady to start with, gentle exploration. Tailbone up to the sky, so you're not tucking the tail under. So lift the tailbone up. And then when you're ready, coming down onto the elbows, which just alters the direction of the mobility in the hips, I suppose. Just shifts it slightly. And then we're going to stay on the elbows here. I'm going to bring, as you rock forward, bring your right foot up, turning the knee down, place it down, rock back. Left foot, rock back. So just picking up one foot at a time, turning the thigh bone in. And then coming back up onto the hands, take your right leg out and straighten it out. Yeah, so you have to kind of pick it up a little bit. The foot can be either on the heel or down on its side, whichever, but you're just rocking forward and back there. It's a bit more work into the groin. And then bend that one back in, make sure you're back to that sort of original position of your frog, knees wide, foot wider, and then switch to the other side. So take that foot out in line and then rock you forwards and back. I quite like having the foot down. It seems to give me more of a stretch into the inner thigh, but you can go foot up, probably hit more hamstring. You play with it, foot down, foot up, doesn't matter. And then release out of that. Just turning around, so I'm here on my mat. So coming into our big rotation, one arm goes out overhead, the other threads through, and bring the side of the head and the arm down. Walk the top hand all the way around as far as it will go, inch it round, and then lifting your top armpit up to the sky. Twisting, twisting, breathing, breathing. And then slowly release, so the top arm comes away to allow you to come out of that. And then again, reach the top arm, or reach the opposite arm, I should say, out overhead. Wrong arm. Thread the needle through. Walk the top hand round that little bit further. And lifting the top arm to the sky. Breathe. And then slowly release. Coming to kneeling and then into a long lunge position. So we're going to lunge forward, all the way forward. So sinking the hips down. You are trying to keep a certain amount of tuck. It's not going to be as much tuck as we had last night in like the knee workshop, but as you come down, don't just let it be all about this big arching sensation. So keep everything kind of, I don't know, as in line as possible. Opposite hand comes down next to the foot, and then we're going to rotate there. As usual, rotate from the chest and the upper back, rather than just the shoulder. And then release. We'll switch sides. A nice long lunge again, sink the hips down, keeping the torso relatively upright and in line. Opposite hand comes down, nice and steady away. Twist to the opposite side. And slowly release, and then we turn onto our back. I'm going to continue with that bridge work we've been doing, that we were doing yesterday, in fact. So bringing both feet down to the ground, flatten out the lower back gently, and lift up into a long bridge. So knees, hips, shoulders, all in one long line. And then we're going to pick up your left foot. And we're going to tap the bottom down. So we do 3, just like yesterday. Tap the bottom down for 3 and up, 2 and up, last one and up, and then lower the hip, and then walk the foot away from you about foot distance. You know, same thing. We're going to lift for 3, 2, 1. Walk the foot away from you a foot's distance. Now you might want to be on the heel, and then for 3, 2, 1. Walk it away furthest, as far as you could go while still having a slight knee bend. And again, 3, 2, 1. Bend it back in, place both feet down. So again, we're coming up on both feet. Lift. Bend the right knee in. And we lift and lower for 3, for 2, for 1. Walk the foot away from you, just a foot's distance or thereabouts. And again, we lift for 3, for 2, for 1. Walking away a foot's distance, you might want to be on the heel now. Lift for 3, 2, 1. Last one, as far as you can go without losing the bend in the knee. 3, 2. Last one. Bring both feet, or bring the other foot out to join the one that's just where it is. So you long bridge. Squeeze the thighs together, pull the heels back, toes back, and lift up there. So squeeze the thighs, pull the heels, bloody hell, the toes. Pull the toes back towards your shins, squeeze the inner thighs, lift the hips, hold and breathe, hold and breathe. Keep squeezing the inner thighs, keep pulling the toes back, squeeze, pull, squeeze, pull, hold. And then we're going to pull. So we're going to lower the hips and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift. Keep going, keep focusing on squeezing the inner thighs, squeezing the glutes, pulling the toes back to the shins. We go 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, and lower down. Bend the knees into the chest, lengthen them up to the sky, and if you need to go for a little walk, just to lengthen out the hamstrings. And then transitioning over onto our front. Just playing with these movements that we've been doing over the last few days. We've had them sort of all together today to kind of culminate. So the toes are tucked under. The hands are a little bit further in front of the shoulders than normal. We're going to hover the knees. So hover the knees, and then take the hips back, bottom to heels. We'll pause there, sinking the armpits down. Then lift the bottom to the sky, and we'll do the pedaling of the feet just for the calves. So dropping one heel, bending the opposite knee, and then switching. Nice and easy. Pedaling the feet, dropping the heels, stretching the calves. Pause with the feet up on the toes, and then coming out into our plank. Dropping the hips down out into a plank. Pause there. You should feel that your shoulders are slightly in front of your wrists. Just breathe and hold. Then pike the hips back up to the ceiling. Lift the hips as high as you can. Bend the knees to the mat to a hover and take your bottom to your heels. And then spring forward into your plank. One long line, piece of steel from head to heel, wrists in front of shoulders. Holding, breathing. Come all the way back, so taking your bottom back to your heels. I'm going to go through that one more time. We'll lift right up to the sky. Big lift up to the sky, up on the toes. Round forward, drop the hips into your plank. Lifting the head and the chest at the bottom of this movement. Lift the hips back to the sky. Push back with the arms. Almost down dog. Bottom to heels, knees to a hover. Out to a plank. And then come back to your hovered position. We do the under switch. We're going to go left leg. So left leg is going to come underneath the opposite one. You're going to twist over. We're going to go straight into our crab reach. So you've got one arm on the floor, one arm off. Lift the hips. Reach the arm overhead, looking down with the bottom hand. Lift the hips a little bit higher if you can. Push the floor away a little bit more if you can. Lower the hips to the hover. So we know it's the left foot that's going to move. Push down with the right foot, lifting the heel so you can pivot back to all fours to the hover. And then it's the right leg that goes underneath. The right leg goes underneath. Left arm comes up and over as you lift the hips up, looking down at the bottom hand. Breathe and hold. Reach the elbow, lift the hips. Big stretch. Stability for the arm. Lower back to your hover. We know it's the right foot that's going to move, but press down with the left. Look up the heel so you can pivot over back to all fours. So we're back to our knee hover. We're going to push back. So heel, bottom to heels. You're going to lift the hips up high. Round forward into your plank. You might need to do a little bit of shuffling because things will have kind of changed and moved. Out into your plank. Back up, hips high, hips high, hips high. Bend the knees to a hover, take your butt to your heels. Spring forward to plank. Breathe and hold. Press back up, the hips high. Just to give you a break, because we're going to bring it into the knee to elbow. Yeah. So as you come forward this time down into plank, you're going to lower the hips and come into a plank position. As you do that, bring the right knee to the outside of the right elbow. So lowering the hips as I come down, I bring the right knee to the outside of the right elbow. I'm going to lower it down, the arm to the wrist, pick it back up. And as I take it back, I'm going to push back. So I'm going back to that hips high position. So just unloading slightly each time. So you're not there constantly in a plank. So as I lower the hips, left knee to outside left elbow, lower it down, lift it back up, and push back with the arms, and then bring the foot down. Same on the other side. As I come forward, the elbow, knee to elbow, lower it down, lift it back up, push back with the arms, hips high, foot down. Same on the other side. As you come down, you come to the outside of the elbow, lower, lift, push back, hips high, foot comes down. One more on each side, just so you get the movement. Knee to elbow, knee to wrist, back up, push back, drop the foot. One more. Knee to elbow, knee to wrist, knee to elbow, push back. One final, coming down to plank. Back to a knee hover, and then lower the knees, and you can come off your wrists and give them a circle. How did we do? There's a thumbs up if you kind of got through it. Not so bad. A bit easier. I'm not going to add anything new to that. We're just going to cycle through just a few more, exactly the same movements. I might just do them in a different order. It's kind of when I get there, I think, oh, this would probably fit better here and all that kind of stuff. So we'll start off with the crab reach stuff, and then we'll come back to the planks to give us a bit of a break. Ready? We're starting off in all fours, hands slightly forward of the shoulders, toes tucked. Onto your knee hover. We're going to straight into it. So you're going to bring left foot underneath, over into a one-arm crab. Lift the hips up, reach the arm. Lower the hips. Pick up the left leg again. Back to all fours. Straight to the other side. Lift the hips. Big stretch, big reach. Lower the hips. Pick up the right foot, take it back through to your hover. Just get organized first. Then take your hips back, foot to heels. Lift the hips high. Round forward into your plank. If you need to shift things slightly again, you can do. Round back up. Bottom to heels. Spring forward to plank. This time we are going to round straight back up. So like a circle. So we're going to lift the hips up to the sky. Take your bottom to your heels. Come out into plank. Bottom to the sky. Bottom to heels. Forward to plank. One more. Bottom to the sky. Bottom to heels. Spring forward to plank. Lift the hips up. Do the same thing. As you lower the hips to plank, bring the right knee to the outside of the right elbow. Lower it to the wrist. Lift it back up. Push your hips high. Foot comes down. As you lower, left knee, left elbow. To the wrist. To the elbow. Push up high. Take it back. 2 more each side. Lower the hips. Knee to elbow. Knee to wrist. Lift it up. Take it back. Knee to elbow. Knee to wrist. Knee to elbow. Push it back. 1 more each side. Knee to elbow. Knee to wrist. Knee to elbow. Take it back. 1 more. Elbow. Wrist. Elbow. Return. Come down to a knee hover. And then lower the knees, and again, come off the wrists, and whatever you need to do, just give them a twirl if they need it. There's something very therapeutic about being out in the rain. It is a little bit slippy. Right, so it wouldn't be complete, would it, for the last day if we didn't try these balance work exercises again. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not changing it because we've still not kind of smashed it. So let's go right leg stepping forward, left arm up. So step forward with the right leg into your lunge. Reach forward, touch the floor with the left hand. Take the fingers to give you some support. Shift forward until you can pick up your back leg. From there, we're going to straighten the front leg until we're in our single leg deadlift position. Nice and high through the chest and the gears. We're going to open the hip out to the side, so lift the hip bones, lower it back down, and if we can, have a go at pointing the hip bones in the other direction. So twisting at the hips, all under control, bring it back to center, bend the front knee, place the hand back down where it came from, left toes come down, and we push back up. And I'm going to switch sides so we don't get completely exhausted on each side. So this time, stepping forward with the left foot, long lunge position, right arm comes up, reach forward, tent the fingers so you've got some way of balance in between the foot and the hand, shift forward until you can pick up your back leg, then start to straighten the front knee, just until it's soft, chest is lifted, not bothered how high the back leg is, same thing, point your hip bones to the side, point your hip bones back down towards the floor, if you can, point them to the other side, point them back down towards the floor, bend the front knee to place the hand back down, lower the toes, and then push back to standing, and we switch sides. Switch your sides, one long line, right foot forward, left arm up, Stretch and reach forward, take the fingers, shift, pick up the back leg. Start to straighten the front leg. Once you've found your balance, turn the hip bones to the side, turn them to the floor, turn them the other way. Back to the floor, bend the front knee, place the hand down, drop the toes, press back up to standing, and we switch sides. Left foot forward, right arm up. Lunge forward, stretch and reach the hand forward. Shift forward until you can pick up your back leg. Start to straighten the front leg, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze, and chest up. Once you're there in your balance position, twist and open. Back to the floor. Twist and close. Oh, lost it on this one. Back to the floor. If you need to put your foot down to balance, obviously do. Bend the front knee. Place the fingertips down. Place the toes down. And back up to standing. Same again on the other side. Right foot forward. Left arm. I've just done this side. I've just done this side. I don't know. I might have done. I'm hoping you guys are going from side to side. Take the fingers, lift the back leg, straighten the front leg. Once you're there, you can either just hold if you want to try and practice your balance position. That's absolutely fine. Or if you're with us doing the opening of the hips, the closing of the hips, the back to square, which is the hardest one I find. Bend the front knee, place the hand down, place the toes down. Come back to standing, switching sides. Couple more. Seems to be going better this morning. Clearly got better at it, hopefully. Reach the arm forward. She says, speaking too soon. Pick up the back leg. You know what you're doing. Play with this movement. How much control have you got over where your pelvis is going in space? Working through it. One last time. Opposite side. Do you know what? I found that easy when I was chatting away to you guys. Note to self, need to shut up more. Clearly having another go. You could have carried on, it's all right, I was just watching. All right, well done, come down to the mat. Give me a thumbs up if it was easy this morning. Those of you that were there yesterday. Nicola, any better? Yeah. Andrea's doing a good job. Did I speak too soon? Yes. Oh no, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Well done. Good stuff. All right, let's finish off with a decent pretzel then. So coming down onto your side. Just had to give Andrea a moment to finish that last one. It was good. Bending the top knee, hang on to it. Take hold of the bottom ankle. Up and out. Oh, nice crack through the spine. I do like it when that happens. Needs to happen. Oh, breathing open the chest and sky. And slowly release and switching sides. Bending the top knee, holding on. Bottom ankle, holding on. Opening the chest out. Control the breathing, nice deep breaths. Relax into it even more on every exhale. Slowly release. Rolling straight onto your front for a chest stretch, chest and shoulder stretch. Take your one arm out to the side. Roll the front of the shoulder away from the mat. So pick the front of the shoulder up. Rolling over. top knee pointing to the sky, or thereabouts. It might be anywhere in that range, but you're aiming to point it to the sky. Roll back through the centre, switching sides, front shoulder away from the mat as best you can. Twist and roll. Back through centre, over to the other side. Back through centre, over to the other side. I'm quite happy for you to roll at your own speed. I'm kind of hanging out a little bit because we're kind of nearly done. But if you want to roll through it and make it more flowing, that's okay too. I'm going to do one more to each side. Last one for me here. Exploration, and then coming back, sitting back onto your heels, so toes together, knees apart, sink the armpits down. And slowly release, unless you want to stay there, which I kind of do this morning. Whee. Well done, chaps. Just about bang on time, aren't we? How are we doing? We all right? Yeah. Come and talk to me. It's the last one. I feel kind of sad. I feel very sad.
Oh.
I feel really sad.
So much.
You're welcome. We will do it again. You know, when I get back from holidays and I get sorted out when I get back, kind of busy when I get back with clients and stuff, but I will set it up again. I'd like to do it at different times of the day and kind of catch some more people that, you know, aren't prepared to get out of bed early in the morning.
And so will the idea be that it will be like half an hour again and the recordings will be available?
I think it seems to work quite well. I think most people like the fact that it's short. Well, I can ask you here, do you like the fact that it's short?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, me too. It's the best half an hour of the day.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for that. I kind of feel the same as well. I think it's really been useful for me. I've kind of been a bit selfish with it, really. I did it to try and get myself back in a groove of getting up and moving every day. So I kind of fell out of it. Just life, you know, takes over. So there was a bit of selfish kind of stuff in there as well, but I'm glad it's the same for you guys. So yeah, so we will do it again. I'll put it back on when I get back from holiday. I might start it in like October, you know, we might start from October and do a few in September and just see.
Well, I mean, for me, if it's available, I'll continue to do the ones that are on the web, and then obviously, and you know, gosh, I realise that you'll need to charge. So,
well, even if I do, it'll be a small amount. It'll be something like a tiny membership a month, something's really, just because it I found when I give stuff away for free, usually very few people turn up, which is odd. Whereas if you put a tiny charge on it, like even if it's just the donation to a charity, it seems to sort of focus people's minds and get them involved. It's odd. Some people like you've been here every day, and then some people in and out, and that's fine. You know, everybody's different. No problem with that. So now I'll have a think. But like I said before, I kind of wanted to do this stuff's great. I love just doing the movement side of it. But I think there's a lot to be said for some extra sessions just to teach people how to do the movements better. Like yesterday with you. You know, it took us 10-15 minutes to get your shoulder in a better position that you could do the movement. Can't do that in the half hour. It has to be outside. I don't know. I'm giving it some thought, but any feedback's always welcome. And, you know, like I say, we'll do it again in some way or form. Come sort of end September, beginning of October. Yeah,
that would be brilliant. And and I'll look forward to that. Thank you.
Me too.
No problem. Great stuff. All right, well, I'll see you after my holidays.
Oh, thank you.
Have a great holiday, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.